Hello Libra, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for February for the Sun or the Ascendant. Now I'm going to give you a broad overview of what to expect, but please stay with me because then I will go on to dive deep and give you in great detail all the key dates, all the key influences and moon phases to guide your February moves. So right at the start of this month, the glorious new moon in your sister air sign of Aquarius is right on your 5th house cusp. This is the point in our situations where we express ourselves, where we demonstrate our talents and flair, where we can be warm, and also we can think about things like pleasure and mixing and mingling, even romance, all governed by the 5th house. But this particular new moon does have Saturn, the planet of structure, very close to it, so I need to share with you about that. There's a full moon on the 16th in the sign of Leo, which for you is very much to do with how you link to the wider world in terms of friendships and connections and your networks. Mercury, of course, is retrograde at the start of this month, so I need to unravel that for you. And your ruler Venus is in a very tight embrace with Mars pretty well through the whole of the month, but it's in your 4th house, which is quite complex, so I'm going to share with you about that too. If you are new to my channel, please would you kindly subscribe by clicking or tapping on the bell notification symbol. This means every time I drop a video you'll get an alert. Also, if you'd like to get your free written daily horoscope, which I've done for over 25 years, if you'd like to get those fired to your device each morning, you can do so by subscribing for free underneath this video. And of course we're well into 2022, but you can still order your personal forecast for the next 12 months, and that will take you into early 23. And if you buy it with my package of a character analysis, you'll get 30% off. This will give you searing insights into what you can expect over those coming months, and most of all help you to ascend above this Zodiac broadcast, which of course is a bit more generalized. So welcome Libra to your monthly horoscope for February. So that glorious new moon on the 1st is all about you embracing your talent. It's also about you showcasing what makes you individual. The fact that Saturn is close by does point towards, if you have a romantic relationship, for example, which you're not completely satisfied with, you're going to be thinking about it seriously over the next month. And that's reinforced really by the full moon of the 16th, because that forges a quincunx with Pluto. Yes, Pluto in your 4th solar house, been causing so much transformation for Librans and Libran ascendant folk ever since 2008. But I want to reassure you that your 4th house this month actually provides a lot of opportunities. Now the 4th house isn't just about how we feel things or about family, it's also about where we live. And Venus is brilliant when it comes to anything to do with decoration and fabric and colour choice and textiles, and you have a real gift around these areas anyway, but that's really going to be enhanced this month because Venus stays in a conjunction with Mars pretty well the whole of this month. Now if you are somebody who likes to entertain, and that's possible wherever you're located, then that side of your nature can really come out to play. Also, it could be the case that you're making some physical changes to where you live with Mars's drive. So that could be a new kitchen, a new bathroom. It may be some new soft furnishings. And all these things can give you a great deal of pleasure because you often have a very classy environment, very stylish. You know, whatever your particular taste is, you'll do it in the best way possible with a great deal of aplomb. Now, of course, Mercury is in a retrograde right at the start of this month. If there have been a few cross wires around getting a contractor to help you with changes at home or with family members, it wouldn't entirely be a surprise. But Mercury actually goes forwards on the 3rd, out of shadow on the 5th, and on the 14th returns to the sign of Aquarius, your sister air sign. So once more, that supporting of the Sun's journey through this part of your scope, which goes on through to the 18th of this month. If you think about it, the 5th house is where we can really demonstrate our flair, but the 6th house, where the sun moves on the 18th, is where we need to make it all work in a more structured way. And that's what you could do in the last 10 days of this month. Take an idea, but package it or work with it in a way which gives it more form and function. But I need to tell you about Jupiter, because your 6th house has been an area that's been quite problematic in the same way as the 4th, really since 2012 when Neptune went there. Because you can be a people pleaser, and Neptune being in the 6th house has seen you the most compassionate side of your nature really come to the fore. So if you work in a support service or in a health role or anything to do with distribution, Neptune in this area may have seen you go in the extra mile quite a lot to assist others, even if it's been your co-workers. But Jupiter's moved into this area. Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces, so it likes being here, and this is a much more joyous, outgoing, vibrant influence is Jupiter. And in the first 10 days of this month, Jupiter's linking fantastically well to Uranus in your sector of long-term earnings and devotion, but most importantly to Venus and Mars in that home and family situation. So I think some good luck, which Jupiter can be linked to something to do with a property or family matter. Now, maybe someone's going to be very generous, maybe an opportunity to move into your ideal home or to start the process or to adapt where you are is all going to come to pass. But some good news is definitely very possible this month. So that's something to be very excited about. Now, the full moon, which does occur on the 16th, is in Leo. Leo energy is how we connect to the group, whereas the 5th house energy is more about ourselves as individuals. So if your time management means that it feels that you are doing a bit too much of that people pleasing again, despite us Libran type of people with my ascendant at 23 degrees, needing to set our boundaries a bit firmer. If people pleasing has been an issue, then Pluto applies in a 150 degree to the position of the moon to say, look, don't forget what you've worked on over recent years so that it doesn't feel like people are taking you for granted. In the last 10 days of this month, your ruler Venus also forges a beautiful link with Neptune. If you remember, that occurred right at the start of this year for the first 12 days. Because of the retrograde to Venus, it's being repeated. Again, something that you're not expecting can be very uplifting. Not everything in life is tangible, not everything in life is material. And I think maybe it is going to be someone's going to make an overture to you or share an appreciation of what you bring to their life, which will really be very good for your soul. Now, it is the case that in the last week, Mercury's return to Aquarius sees it back in a clash with Uranus, which can create some nerves and some edginess. And of course, broadly, Saturn and Uranus have been in that bruising encounter for over a year. But the great news this month is it's stretching out. It's not as precise a square as it has been, which is something that I think you can really be pleased about. So that square between Mercury and Uranus towards the end of this month is just saying, don't get into forgetting really your worth, because the 8th house is about your worth, but the Uranus position in the 8th house, obviously it's in its fall in Taurus, it's not its best, but Taurus can be about money. The 8th house is about longer term money. Someone offers you something out of the blue and says, look, I think you're very talented and I'm going to pay you this, but it's not what you feel you're worth. Turn it down. Don't stress out about it. Don't invest energy where you're not getting a return. And the crux of this month is to keep working on that need for security and comfort at the base of your life. But there is opportunities for pleasure too this month. But with Saturn on that new moon, it is saying, you know, make sure that people recognize your worth. You know, it's good to be good. It's important to be nice, but it's nice to be important. That's a good one, isn't it? But I think Libran people can get so caught up in being agreeable. Same with people with a lot of 7th house or Venus or the moon on the 7th house, can lose a bit of their personal identity. So that's the challenge still. It's a journey for all of us. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care and goodbye.